Before that night, I could have spent my whole life camping. My best friend Jack and I were already on our third camping trip that year when it happened, the thing I'm about to tell you. What we saw out there alone in the woods. Jack loved getting away from the city almost as much as I did. He said the air smells better in the forest. He's right about that. It all started at Pine Ridge, a secluded campsite Jack found online. We pulled up around noon. Not much there, just trees, a small lake, and sky. Miles of blue sky. I jumped out of the car and roamed around a bit. Jack whistled as he unloaded the car. Tent, cooler, sleeping bags, all the usual stuff. He made some comment about me not helping, just standing there looking pretty. We both knew I wasn't much help with the tent. Lazy bum, he said, but he was smiling when he said it. I knew he was kidding. I do plenty around camp. I'm definitely the better fisherman and animal tracker. Jack got the tent set up and built a fire pit just as the sun was starting to dip behind the trees. We collected dry twigs for kindling and thick logs for a long burn. That first crackle as the flames find the kindling is my favorite. Smoke rose up, smelling woodsy and sweet before the wind carried it away. We waited for the fire to settle into what Jack calls cooking heat. About 15 minutes later, the flames had died down gently over a bed of glowing orange coals. Perfect, he said. That's when he nestled the foil packs right at the edge of the embers. Chicken with carrots, sweet potatoes, and green beans. No onions for me. The foil made little popping sounds as the food inside started to cook. The crackling wood, the smell of our dinner mixed with the pine air, and that feeling that nothing matters except right now. This is why we come out here. Moments like this. Shared between two friends, not even talking. Just us and the fire and the woods. That's when I noticed something odd. A flicker in the sky. It didn't move like a plane or a shooting star. Jack saw it too. He leaned forward. We both watched the light run across the sky, stop, then change direction. Fast. Jack suggested it was a satellite, but I could tell he didn't believe it. We tried to get back to enjoying our fire, but there was an eeriness to the night now. The woods seemed like it was holding its breath. Looking back, I wish we'd packed up right then, driven back to the city. But how are we supposed to know what would happen next? I must have fallen asleep because the next thing I remember is waking up inside the tent. It was the middle of the night. I heard something. Or more like, I felt a noise. A vibration. Jack was sleeping in his sleeping bag. I watched his chest rise and fall for a moment. Then I saw it. Light. Not the soft glow of dawn or a flashlight beam. This was different. A blue-white that seemed to slice through the tent walls like they weren't even there. All of a sudden the tent was full of light. I nudged Jack hard. He blinked awake, disoriented at first, then alert when he saw the light. "What the?" he whispered, sitting up. The light got brighter, so bright it hurt. That vibration was stronger now, a low hum that made my teeth ache. Jack unzipped the tent and stepped outside. I followed right behind him. No way was I letting him go alone. Outside, the forest was transformed. Everything glowed in that unnatural light. Above us, hovering, was something. Not a plane, not a helicopter. Nothing I'd ever seen before. It was triangle-shaped and spanned over 100 feet, with 3 beaming spotlights and a red flashing light in the center. Jack stood frozen, staring up. We were standing so close together I could feel his body trembling. Then the light intensified. It surrounded Jack like water. 1 second he was there, and the next, he was gone. Just gone. The light pulled upward, back into the thing above us. Then that was gone too, shooting straight up, moving faster than anything I'd ever seen. I was alone. In a panic, I ran around the campsite, searching, desperate. But there was nothing, just air where my best friend had been. I spent that night wide awake, watching the sky for any sign of the object. It didn't come back. When dawn broke, I was still there, waiting, alone. I don't know how many days I stayed at that campsite. I couldn't leave. What if Jack came back and I wasn't there? I ate what was left in the cooler. I slept in the tent where I could still smell him. During the day, I'd go to the lake for water, then rush back to make sure I hadn't missed anything. At night, I'd stare at the sky until my eyes burned, waiting for those lights to return. They never did. Eventually, a man with a beard found me. He was out hiking. He stopped when he saw our campsite. What was left of it, anyway. "Hello?" he called out. "Anybody here?" When he saw me, he looked concerned. I was just scratching mosquito bites and looking up at the sky. The man checked the tent, found Jack's wallet that he'd left behind. He made a call on his satellite phone, speaking in a low voice I couldn't quite hear. That afternoon, more people came. They took pictures and asked questions. The bearded man told us all he had a farm not far from here, that I was welcome to stay there while I waited for Jack. That's how I ended up at Cedar Creek Ranch, a mile from our campsite. Close enough that if Jack came back, I'd know about it. The ranch had big fields of fenced-in grass. The bearded man's wife showed me around. The whole place smelled of hay and leather and cows. That first night I ate because I had to, not because I wanted to. Then I went to the edge of the property and looked back toward the woods, toward where Jack had disappeared. I'd wait, however long it took. Days turned into weeks. The ranch owners were kind. They had a bunkhouse they let me stay in. During the day, I did some work around the ranch. I needed something to keep me busy while I waited for Jack. The bearded man appreciated the company. He talked a lot while he worked, fixing fences or tending to animals. The ranch hands were friendly too. Sometimes we'd eat together. I watched the sky every night before drifting off to sleep. One night, about a year after I arrived at the ranch, the bearded man found me at the fence line, staring up at the skies. He said, "Sometimes we have to accept when people aren't coming back." But I knew Jack was out there somewhere, and I was right. It happened late that night. I was almost asleep when I felt it. That same vibration in the air from a year ago, almost a high-pitched buzz. I raised my head, but that was it. The ranch was quiet. Then I saw them, lights in the sky past the fence line, darting. Before I knew it, I was running across the field, hopping the fence into the woods. My heart was pounding hard. I knew where I was going, back to the spot where the tent had been, where Jack had disappeared. The forest was dark except for those lights overhead. I didn't care if they took me too. Then the light got so bright I had to close my eyes. There was that vibration again, that humming. When I opened my eyes, Jack was just there, standing in the same spot where I'd lost him a year ago, looking exactly the same clothes even. He yelled my name when he saw me. I couldn't help myself. I ran at him, knocked him right over. He fell back laughing while I scrambled to get up. He hugged me tight. His face was wet with tears. I could feel him shaking. Jack asked how long he was gone as our foreheads touched, and it was like he sent a message from his brain to mine. "I knew you'd be here. I knew you'd wait." We sat there in the woods a while. It was quiet now, and the lights were gone. Eventually we started walking. Jack's legs were wobbly. I led him to the ranch. When we got to the fence line, he stopped. "You've been staying here?" The house was lit up. The lights in the sky must have woken them up too. The bearded man and his wife came out when they saw us coming. "My God," the man said. "You're him. The missing camper." That's when they really looked at us. "So this is your dog," the woman said. "He's been waiting for you." Jack smiled. "I'm not surprised. Trevor's the most loyal dog a guy could have, with the biggest heart too." I didn't think my tail would ever stop wagging. That night we slept in the guest room, Jack on the bed, me curled up right beside him on the floor. The next morning we'd head back home to the city. He never did tell me where he'd been all that time, what had happened up there in the sky. But that's okay. We were together again. The two of us. Best friends. A man and his dog.